Just to show you the new capabilities, we'll go through a quick workflow. So I'm going to log in to the WebVerifier with the new interface, and we're logging in as a verifier operator. So we've scanned some batches of documents in already, some essays, answers. So logging in as verifier, we have a couple of lists that I've set up now. So the main batch list, which would be normal jobs that people would be working on throughout the system. And then we've split off the essay functions into a separate batch list for them so that can be prioritized if needed. So under essay verification, you'll see this is still traditional batch level processing, and we can go into a batch, verify the documents, and the redaction is working. A slightly changed interface, a few more tweaks to do, but you'll see that we have question marks on the fields that are going to be required, and we can just simply verify these as we normally would within the system. That batch, once it's processed, will then process through and disappear from the operators list, and we can carry on as usual. If we now log out of the web verifier now, and if we log in as a marker 1, so slightly different interface now. You'll see a slightly different icon, and this is now a task list rather than a batch list. So when we click on the task list, what we see are the marker 1 tasks. So these are any documents, so in this case at question level, that require a marker 1, and these can obviously be assigned depending on the user which markers and which levels they are able to access. So if we go to the Q4 marker 1, for example, and if we look up the top, you'll see we're in document number 4 of batch 281. Again, the redaction's working, and we have the marking form. Current question number is 4, and we can assign grades if we want to. The incorrect question, bad script, still working as normal. Let's test that out. We'll put that as an incorrect question for this one. And you'll see we're now on batch, we're moving through, but we're changing batches. So we're now on batch 3 of 283. So we're not having to change that. We're purely looking at all the marking ones for question 4 at this time. So again, we'll just mark some, and there we go. So they're all processed. We can move on to another question if we want to. So if we log out as a marker 2 now and log in as, log out as a marker 1 and log in as a marker 2. Again, same sort of interface. We've now got second marking tasks. So if, for example, a user happens to be a first and a second marker for different types of question, you could have first marking and second marking tasks within the batch list. So here we now have our task count. So there are only 3. Now, if you notice, even though we processed 4, one of them we marked as incorrect script, so that one's gone off to the missing question number workflow. So we now have 3 at marker 2 level, and again we can process those. So if I mark one with a completely incorrect quality marks, then that should escalate that through to a marker 3 level. So we process those through, and again we're now complete on our task list. So finally, what I'll do is I'll log in as a team leader, which gives us access to the third marking tasks list, and as well as the question marking. So we've got those 3 come through for marker 3. We now have a missing question list as well. So again, we can process the missing questions. We can say this has been escalated. It's currently assigned as question 4. I actually think it's going to be a question 3. We can save that, and it will then loop back in through the marker 1 Q3 level. And as a marker 3 again, I can process this, and I can assign my marks and move through. And again, we'll notice we're on document 4 of batch 281 here. And then we jump to document 4 of 283. And we're all done. Those would then loop through and export as required.